Hello and welcome to Season 6, Episode 6 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up in today's episode I have a top-of-the-table clash away against league leader Stoke. I realise we're only part way into January. Apologies, I know I made this excuse yesterday, but I have had another crash in the game. I got all the way to the end of January, was ready to do a transfer window closing episode, and the game crashed and brought me all the way back to the game before last, which was the Middlesbrough game, I think, which we'll get to in a little while. I'd made loads of signings as well, it was awesome. It won't go as well this time round, but I thought we'll show you the top of the table clash this time, and then we'll probably come back mid to late February with the rest of the transfer window roundup, and another game at that point. 2 games, why not 2 games? So first thing that's happened is I've changed my season expectations with the board to free up a little bit of transfer budget to spend in January. So I've now got £1.23 million to spend and about an extra £40,000 or £50,000 a week of wage budget. So we've got money to go out there and play with. We have sent Carlinhos back to Everton. He only played 5 games during the first half of the season. They weren't that impressed with that. We're not playing with an attacking midfielder anymore either, so they didn't seem any reason to keep him around. So he's gone back to Everton. The board are still delighted with what we're doing at the club, and I'm still untouchable. And they're really taking a shine to Samuel Enyama, who is by no means a first choice, but perhaps I need to play him a little bit more often. We went away to Leeds in the third round of the FA Cup. We drew 2-2. It was pretty rubbish, really. I'm not interested in the cups at the moment. Maybe if I eventually get to the Premier League, I'll start being interested in the cups. At the moment, they just are in the way, and I was not impressed when we equalised in this match, because it means we've got to play another game in the replay as well in a couple of games' time. But goals from Ambrose and Van Wolfswinkel. We didn't play badly. I just didn't have any interest in winning. We had this guy arranged to come in on a season-long loan for the rest of the season on almost no money. Superstar defensive midfield player, would have come straight into our first team, and just as he was about to sign, he tore his calf muscle and he's out for 3 to 4 months. Tore his calf muscle playing an Arsenal reserve game, so he's one that got away, which is a bit of a shame because, like I say, straight into the side with this lad. And we've also sent Stephen Davidson back to West Ham, the reserve left-back that we had. Although he did play 10 games for us, he was never going to get in ahead of Knudsen. Again, wasn't happy at the club. So we've sent him back to West Ham, and we'll just bring in another left-back as cover for Knudsen. We've sold Christian Benavente to Apoel, mainly because they offered £1.3 million for a player who is never going to be a first choice in our side. So that adds to the transfer kitty again, which is always good. And then we've brought in Martin Cantello, a Welsh defender who's at Liverpool. He's only 18 years old. He's coming on loan for the rest of the season. He's not fantastic, but he's good enough to be our 4th choice centre-back. So he comes in from Liverpool, as does Peter Phillips. I've discovered Liverpool are my parent club, which I hadn't realised before. So Peter Phillips, 20-year-old left wing-back. He can play left full-back as well, so he just comes in to be our backup left-back. He's 20 years old. It's weird. His specialism is wing-back, and he's only competent as left-back, but if something happens to Knudsen, we'll bring Phillips in. Left-back's our more attacking full-back position anyway, so I'd probably just switch that over to a wing-back anyway if we need to play Phillips, but he's there as cover for the rest of the season. We then went away to Middlesbrough in the league. We beat them 2-1. We were pretty comfortable in this game. Goals from Delanley and Dazelle. We let them back into the game a little bit later on with an Adam Clayton goal, getting them back into the match. But the most disappointing thing about it was the injury to James Tavernier. He is out for 3 months with a hip injury. So that's going to take him to mid-March. And we don't although we've got other right-backs at the club, none of them are great. So it might be that we need to bring in a right-back either on loan or maybe a young up-and-coming right-back who can come in and maybe act as cover for Tavernier when he comes back as well. But that was a bit of a shame. That didn't happen on Earth 5, by the way, in case I didn't say. Earth 6 is where we're at now. The replay of the FA Cup third round tie, I decided to just chuck in a load of backup players. I still played some of the first choice, but I've got a backup keeper. Teddy Bishop came into midfield. Ahmet Arslan came in as a winger. Christoph Berra, I forgot he was even in the club, but I gave him a run out at centre-back. Tried Dominic Ball at right-back because he can play there and might be an option. He did okay. And luckily we've now been knocked out of the FA Cup, so we don't need to worry about that pesky competition anymore. And then we signed a player. Yay, we signed a winger, just what I needed. Thought you wanted a goalkeeper or a right back. Yeah, we signed a winger, Arba Kraja. He's only 19 years old. He's only cost us 650,000. I've signed him because I think he's going to be awesome. His physical stats, his technical abilities, already really, really good. He's only 19 years old. He's got bags of potential to improve. I think he'll be a first choice for us in the Premier League in a year or two's time. I'm calling that now. This lad is going to be a good player. So, one for the future. He's come in and he's happy to be a hot prospect for the future as well. So he comes in, he's a backup player who wouldn't look out of place in the first team. Certainly he's a backup for Tommy Orr as a late substitution, and he's earning a fraction of the money that Christian Benavente was earning, and that's effectively the player he's replacing in the squad. So I'd much rather have Kraja than Benavente in the squad. And that's the league table. We're not that much further in than we were in yesterday's episode. Obviously, can't really be helped because of the crash. Celebration note: I have just hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. That shows just how close to release these episodes are coming out. Because if you keep an eye on my Twitter, you'll see that only happened yesterday. So that's why these episodes are a little bit hectic when the game crashes at the moment. I am trying to build up some wiggle room again, like I had before, where I'm scheduling them a week or two in advance. But at the moment, it's kind of recording and releasing. So that's why when there's a game crash, it's really reducing what I'm able to do in the match. But enough of my whinging. We're 5 points off the top of the league and we're playing the league leaders. And the only team between us and them are the team I support in real life. Let's go and beat Stoke and get ourselves into an automatic promotion position. So this is the team that we're going to be playing against Stoke. I am going to play Dominic Ball as the right back, just because I don't think we've got a better option at the club, and it also gives us a way to get Samuel Enyama into the side, who the board seem to be in love with. So let's give him a run out or two at centre back alongside Michael Hector. Jonas Knudsen plays at left back, and then the midfield, well, pretty much the front six is very settled at this point. Emir Hughes is the deep line playmaker. Andre Dazelle and Lasse Viggen Christensen in the centre of midfield. And then wingers, Tommy Orr and Jan-Erik Delanley. And then Thierry Ambrose up front. Keziah Sterling is still knocking around somewhere. In fact, I'm not even bothering to put him on the bench today. Is he injured? He must be injured because I can't see him. So perhaps he's not still knocking around. His early season form hasn't really continued, but he's still only 19 and he's going to be one for the future. And Martin Cantelo, the young centre-back, comes in on the bench. And that is about the only change. I would have liked to have given Kraja a spot on the bench maybe, but he's not really fit. In fact, can we squeeze him on there somewhere? Not really. In fact, David McGoldrick, why is he on the bench? Let's get rid of him and put Kraja on the bench from McGoldrick, because never in a million years is David McGoldrick getting on the pitch while I'm Ipswich manager. He is too old and he is not good enough. So I've probably just offended loads of Ipswich fans. I don't know if he's any good in real life. I assume he probably is, but he's too old for this squad. It's 6 years in the future, remember. So let's get into this match. We're playing counter-attacking, if I pressed the button correctly, which I did. Excellent. So, full disclosure, we got absolutely hammered by Stoke when we played this on Earth 5. I think it was 3-0. And I think we had 2 shots in the whole game, none on target. We were absolutely rubbish. And we had James Tavernier in the side then as well, because he wasn't injured on Earth 5. So I'm not expecting anything fantastic from this game. But if we can go there and hold on and get a draw maybe, it's going to stop Stoke running away with the top of the league. The fact that it's us and Posh who are the chasing pack should give Stoke confidence that they're going to win the league this season, because they're up against 2 teams who finished 17th and 18th last year. So we're not going to be a consistent challenge throughout the whole season, I wouldn't have thought. I'm just enjoying the ride for as long as we're up there. And we've given away a penalty. Fantastic. Well, this is. I mean, we survived longer than we did on Earth 5. It was 1-0 after about 3 minutes when I played this game about 45 minutes ago. There we go. We're 1-0 down. Oh, that puts us down to 5th. That's not good. We don't want to be 5th. Come on, Ipswich. Let's get back. We don't need to see a replay of a penalty. Yeah, it was a penalty. Who cares? I know what they look like. We conceded it. We don't want that. Oh, no. Why is it a Stoke highlight again? They're going to beat us even more impressively than they did last time, aren't they? Oh, this is not going to end well for me. And I'm not really sure what changes I can make. I think the problem is they are just a much, much better side than we are. And there's not really anything we can do. We just need to sort of sit and take it. They're a good team, good players, good form. If we can get anything at all out of the game, that's going to be a massive bonus. Christensen, I thought he was going to set a counter-attack off there, but in fact, nothing really happened. You know what? We're not doing too bad. We've already had more shots than we had when I played this game before. And we've actually had a shot on target, which we never got last time either. So, I don't know. Perhaps Dominic Ball is a superstar right-back who creates loads of chances. Because I think he's the only change from the team that we had. And that's just because Tavernier's got injured this time round. And that's 2-0. I mean, look at that. That's just superb football from Stoke. Which, I mean, that doesn't even feel right coming out of my mouth. But, I mean, look at this through ball there. And he's in so much space. There's just no defending against that. We're just not a good enough team. We need a new goalkeeper. I'm faffing around buying 19-year-old wingers. I need to go out and get a championship quality goalkeeper. That's what's needed here because, I don't know, perhaps I am being harsh blaming Bielkowski, but you'd like to think he'd get a touch on that. Yes, it was a brilliant through ball, but it was, you know, there wasn't much goal to aim at, and the keeper didn't get anywhere near it. I'm going to leave it on counter. Every instinct in my body is telling me to change that to control. But what's the point? We're not going to come back into the game, and I'd rather lose 2-0 than 5-0, just purely on a morale basis. We're not getting back into this game today. If we go and snatch a goal now, I might go and control for 10 minutes to let Stoke build a cushion against us again. But aside from that, this is about damage limitation today, and we're struggling to limit the damage because they are all over us. This is just deja vu. Sometimes when you have a game crash, the football manager gods decide to give you a completely different type of game when you replay it. But this is exactly what I experienced before. We're being absolutely destroyed, and I mean Stoke's finishing is poor. That's all it is because we should be 4 or 5-0 down. We're not playing well at all. As you can see from our average ratings, it's rare our average ratings are that low. And you know what? Let's bring the youngster on. Let's bring him on for his debut. What's the worst that could happen? We'll bring Van Wolfswinkel on as well. I am actually looking to sell him, so this might be his last game for the club. I'm going to bring him on for Delaney actually and move Ambrose out to the right. So let's see. Kraja could be he could be the best signing of all time if he goes and scores a hat-trick now and gets us a win against Stoke. We might sell him on again before the transfer window closes. Or he probably won't touch the ball. Can't get the ball out to the left. I want to see the new boy. It's the only reason I brought him on, really. I want to see if he's any good. Oh, he got into a half-decent position, but there was no control there. But, you know, they passed the ball to him. That's encouraging. You don't always do that to a young 19-year-old who's just appeared into the side. Let's see again. They should have scored there. We just sort of stood there, got out of their way, and let them get into a shooting position. Which, I mean, it's ridiculous, really. At the start of this game, we were supposedly the third best team in this division. We should be preparing ourselves for a Premier League push. But the gulf in quality between us and Stoke is terrifying. What would the Premier League be like? Who can we stick out on that right hand side? Can Dazelle go up there? No, not really. Hughes, I think, can go up there, which is a weird one because he's moving. No, he can't. Tavernier could, but obviously he's injured. I guess we just leave Bishop up there, do we? Where's Luis Alberto? Why haven't I got him on the bench? We'll just do that. I probably could have changed Bishop to a wide playmaker or advanced playmaker or whatever it is when you have them as the attacking player. In fact, we will do that now, just because he's got no hope of playing as a winger. But at least he vaguely knows what he's doing playing as an attacking playmaker. So we'll do that. You never know, he might slot a couple of through balls through to the new boy. And he can go and bang. I mean, the chances of him getting his hat-trick are fairly slim at this point. It's going to be the quickest hat-trick there's ever been if he does it in the last minute and a half. This is just going to be the full-time whistle highlight, I guess. Although there's 30 seconds, there's still time for Stoke to get a third goal. I mean, we've only lost 2-0. We lost 3-0 last time, so there you go. Earth 6, we're slightly better than we were in Earth 5. So life is going to be good in Earth 6. hopefully it'll be as good as Earth 4, where we had that incredible run of form earlier in the season. And that's it. We've lost 2-0. Now, I am starting to get a little bit worried, and I would like your feedback in the comments. This is 2 games in a row now I've had the game crash. I think it's the 3rd time this season I've had a significant game crash. It's becoming more and more often. It's the 6th time it's happened now since I've been running non-league to legend. If it starts to become something that's happening all the time, I am going to have to seriously consider starting a new save, which I really don't want to do because I'm really enjoying this and it's going really well. Obviously, you guys are enjoying it as well. But unless anyone can give any suggestions for how to stop it crashing, I'm kind of at a loss. I guess wait for the patch, maybe. Perhaps do something for a couple of weeks to tide us over until there's usually a patch at the end of January, isn't there? So that might be an option. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do if it keeps crashing. Fingers crossed that's the last crash now. And we'll just carry on and do another 30 seasons on this save, which is the plan. It has been the plan all along. But don't know how viable it's going to be if it keeps crashing on me like this. But let me know what you think. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the awesome future content that we've got coming up. And yeah, we need to catch up with Posh. We're starting to drop back as a playoff team now, which is a shame. Thanks very much for watching.